Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Carter. I'm 21 years old, and I live in Austin, Texas, United States. Today, I'm going to share something very close to my heart: my journey from silence to confidence in English speaking. I'm still a student, currently studying business communication at the University of Texas. But long before I reached this stage, I was just a shy girl, scared of speaking, even though English was all around me. The topic of my story is From Silence to Confidence, my English speaking story, and I want to take you deep into my world: the fears, the awkwardness, the tears, and the turning points. This is not a story of perfection. This is a story of persistence. Whether you're living in the US, India, Brazil, or anywhere else, if you've ever felt like your voice didn't matter because you couldn't speak English well, I want you to know you are not alone. And yes, you can become confident, just like I did. Let me take you back to the beginning. My story. From silence to confidence. I was born and raised in Austin, Texas, but my home environment was a bit different. My parents are from Mexico, and while they spoke English, they mostly used Spanish at home. So even though I lived in an English-speaking country, English never felt like my language. I understood English. I could read. I could even write okay. But speaking? That was a nightmare. My mouth would freeze. My heart would pound. Every time the teacher called on me in class, my mind would go blank. It felt like the words got stuck in my throat. I remember one moment so clearly. I was in 8th grade, and we had to give a presentation in front of the class. It was just a short one, 2 minutes. Everyone else went up, and I just kept praying, "Please don't call my name." But they did. I stood up, walked to the front, held my paper, and the moment I looked up, tears started rolling down my face. I couldn't speak. The whole class stared. My teacher gently told me I could sit down. That day, I went home and cried for hours. I felt ashamed, small, and broken. From that day on, I avoided any situation that required speaking. I'd fake being sick on presentation days. I'd avoid group discussions. Even ordering food at a restaurant made me nervous. I hated my voice. I hated how people might laugh at my accent or mispronunciations. I started believing that I was just not good at English. But deep down, I wanted to change. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to express my thoughts clearly. I wanted to raise my hand in class, to speak in college, to be heard. The turning point, the real change, started in my first year of college. I joined UT Austin, and everything felt so big. So many new people, opportunities, conversations, and so much English. Every day, I felt like I was being pushed into the deep end. One day, we had a group project in our Intro to Business Communication class. I was assigned to a team with 3 other students: Jake, Rachel, and Priya. They were confident speakers. Naturally, I said very little in our first meeting. After the meeting, Priya came up to me and said something that changed my life. She said, "Emma, you have good ideas. You just need to speak them out loud. Don't hide them. We want to hear you." That one sentence hit me like a wave. No one had said that to me before. I always thought my ideas didn't matter if I couldn't say them perfectly. But she made me believe they did. Starting small, but starting that night, I went back to my dorm room and made a decision. I will no longer let fear control my life. But I also knew I couldn't change overnight. So I started small. Really small. Here's what I did. I talked to myself in the mirror every day. I'd pick a simple topic, like my day or what I ate, and just talk for 5 minutes. No judgment, no grammar check, just talking. I recorded myself speaking. It was super awkward at first, but slowly, I started noticing improvements: better pronunciation, clearer thoughts. I watched English videos, but not just for entertainment. I focused on how people spoke, their expressions, their tone. I joined an English conversation club at the university. The first time I walked in, my hands were shaking, but everyone was so welcoming. They didn't laugh. They listened. That helped me believe in myself. I started saying yes to speaking opportunities. I gave a short introduction in class. I volunteered to read out loud. It was hard, but I did it anyway. Falling down, standing up again. It wasn't always smooth. I made lots of mistakes. I said presentated instead of presented once in class, and a few students giggled. That hurt. I stumbled over words. I froze sometimes, but I reminded myself, fluency is not perfection. Fluency is progress. Every time I messed up, I asked myself, did I give up? If the answer was no, I counted it as a win. Breakthrough moments. There were a few moments where I realized, I'm not the same Emma anymore. The first time I gave a class presentation without notes, and I didn't cry. In fact, I got applause. The first time I made a joke in English during a group discussion, and people laughed, not at me, but with me. The first time my professor told me, Emma, you're one of the most thoughtful communicators in this class. I nearly cried again, but for a good reason. Those were signs that my voice was finally becoming stronger than my fear. What I learned here are a few lessons I want to share with anyone on the same path. Confidence is not something you find. It's something you build, brick by brick, word by word. Mistakes are not the end, they're the beginning. Every mistake I made taught me more than being silent ever did. Don't compare your voice to others. Your voice is yours, and that makes it powerful. Practice in private, speak in public. I practiced a lot alone, but I pushed myself to show up in real situations too. Surround yourself with people who lift you, like Priya, like the English club, like my professors who encouraged me. After that day when I spoke at the student conference, something shifted inside me. I realized that my journey wasn't just about me. It was about everyone who ever felt their voice didn't matter. So I decided to stretch myself even further. I applied for a summer internship at a marketing firm in Dallas. When they called me for an interview, my heart raced, but I kept reminding myself, you've come this far. In the waiting room, I took out my phone and watched one of my old mirror practice recordings. The stuttering, the halting sentences. I barely recognized that girl. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and walked in. The interview was intense. The manager asked me to pitch a product idea on the spot. My hands shook, but I began. What if we create an app that helps non-native speakers practice real-world conversations? As I spoke, I felt calm. My preparation, my mirror practice, my conversations in the club all converged into that moment. When I finished, the manager nodded thoughtfully, then smiled. That's exactly the kind of out-of-the-box thinking we need. I got the internship. Those 3 months in Dallas taught me not just how to market a product, but how to conduct myself in a professional environment. Networking, leading meetings, even casual small talk by the coffee machine. Each "Good morning, Emma" became another brick in my confidence wall. Back at the university that fall, I decided to challenge myself again. I signed up to study abroad in London for a semester. Leaving Texas for the first time was daunting. I worried about understanding British accents, keeping up in tutorials, living alone. But I remembered all the times I chose courage over comfort. London was magical and terrifying in equal measure. The first week, I took a wrong train and ended up across town. Instead of hiding in my phone, I asked a stranger for help. "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to King's Cross?" The man gave me clear directions, and I arrived with time to spare. It felt like winning a medal. In my tutorial groups, I offered my viewpoints without waiting to be called on. I surprised myself when I debated class topics with passion, something the old me couldn't have imagined. And late at night, walking along the Thames, I'd whisper into the breeze, "Thank you, Emma, for daring to speak." When I returned to Austin, I graduated magna cum laude. At the commencement ceremony, I was one of 4 students chosen to give a short speech. As I stood at the podium, I saw my family in the front row, my parents beaming, and my little sister clapping. I took a deep breath and began, "Hi, I'm Emma Carter, and just a few years ago, standing up here would have been my worst nightmare." By the end, the entire crowd was on its feet. My cheeks burned with happy tears. Now, a few months after graduation, I've launched an online coaching service, Speak with Emma, helping students around the world overcome their speaking fears. Every week, I host live sessions where people log in from India, Brazil, Korea, and beyond. I hear them share the same worries I had. What if they laugh at my accent? What if I freeze? And every week, I remind them, your voice matters more than your accent. Just last Tuesday, one of my students, a young woman from Nepal, told me through tears that for the first time she spoke confidently in her university seminar. She said, "Emma, I feel like I have wings." I thought back to my 8th grade self, crouched in fear, and I knew, this is why I kept going. After launching Speak with Emma, things started moving faster than I expected. At first, it was just a small group, 5 or 6 people joining my Zoom calls. But as I kept sharing my story, tips, and real-life exercises, more and more people started showing up. I wasn't just teaching anymore, I was connecting. I was listening to stories from all over the world. One night, a girl named Arushi from India said to me during a session, "Emma, you make me feel like it's okay to speak, even if I'm not perfect." And I smiled, because I knew exactly what she meant. I told her, "It's not about speaking perfectly, it's about speaking bravely." Those words became the new motto of my coaching program. I made a little poster for my wall. Speak bravely, not perfectly. I started making short videos on social media too. Little tips, practice routines, motivational messages. And suddenly, I was getting messages from people I didn't even know. One guy from Egypt sent me a message saying, "I watched your video and asked my boss a question in English for the first time. Thank you for giving me that courage." It was overwhelming, in a beautiful way. But honestly, I still had moments of doubt. There were days when I questioned myself. Am I really good enough to teach others? Who am I to lead a global community? One night, I was sitting alone in my room, reading through old diary entries, the ones from my high school days. I found one where I wrote, "I will never be confident in English. I'll always be the girl who stays quiet." Reading that broke my heart, but also filled me with pride. That girl was wrong, but she didn't know what the future held. And now I do. Not long after that, something incredible happened. I was invited to speak at a youth language summit in New York City. Me, a keynote speaker. The night before the event, I barely slept. I was nervous, excited, emotional. I remembered that 8th grade classroom. I remembered standing at the front of the room, crying, too afraid to say a word. And now, here I was, about to speak in front of hundreds of young learners, educators, and creators from all around the world. I walked up to the stage, took a deep breath, and began. My name is Emma Carter, and I used to be silent. Not because I didn't know English, but because I didn't believe my voice mattered. Today, I'm here because I found that it does, and so does yours. People listened. Some nodded. A few wiped tears. When I finished, I got a standing ovation. I didn't expect that. I walked off stage with my heart full and my soul lit up. Later that day, a girl named Lena from the Philippines came up to me. She looked around nervously and said, "Emma, I want to speak, but I'm too shy." I looked her in the eye and said, "Then let's speak together. Right now. Just one sentence. Say it with me. I can speak English." She hesitated, but I gently smiled and repeated, just one line. "I can speak English." And she said it, softly, almost whispering, "I can speak English." Then again, louder, "I can speak English." And I clapped for her like she just won a medal, because she did. Today, I still run Speak with Emma. We've grown into a beautiful global family. We celebrate every little victory. Someone ordering coffee confidently. Someone asking a question in class. Someone speaking up in a team meeting. I also started writing a book. It's called From Silence to Confidence. The full story, with steps, mistakes, and magic. And I'm not just writing it for language learners. I'm writing it for that shy version of me. For anyone who feels small. For every girl and boy afraid to use their voice. And maybe for you. To the one reading this now, you may feel nervous. You may stumble on your words. Your voice may shake. People may not always understand you. But never, never let that stop you. Because your voice is not just sound. It's power. It's your light. And when you speak, you shine. From silence to confidence. This journey is real. It's raw. It's possible.
Below are detailed tips and tricks related to the topic, From Silence to Confidence, my English speaking story that can help any learner, especially shy or nervous speakers, build fluency and confidence step by step. These tips are explained clearly, with real examples to help you understand and use them in your life. 1. Talk to yourself in English daily, mirror practice, what to do. Stand in front of a mirror and speak English to yourself as if you're talking to a friend. Talk about your day, feelings, or a simple topic. Why it works. Builds fluency in a safe space. No fear of judgment. Helps improve pronunciation and confidence. You hear yourself speaking, which helps reduce hesitation. Example. You stand in front of the mirror and say, "Hi, Emma. How are you today?" "I feel a little tired, but I had a good class. My professor told me I improved. I'm happy about that." Speak for 5 to 10 minutes daily. Over time, you'll feel more natural. 2. Start small. Don't aim for perfect sentences. What to do. Start by speaking simple, short sentences. Don't worry about grammar too much in the beginning. Why it works. Lowers the pressure of perfection. Helps you build comfort with forming sentences quickly. Boosts confidence by reducing self-judgment. Example. Instead of saying, "I went to the grocery store yesterday because I needed to buy some vegetables and fruits, and then I met my friend unexpectedly." Try. "Yesterday I went to the store. I bought vegetables. Then I saw my friend. It was nice." Later, you can combine them into more natural flow. 3. Record yourself and listen back. What to do. Use your phone or computer to record your voice while speaking on a topic. Then listen to it and notice your pronunciation, sentence clarity, confidence level checkmark, why it works. You can observe your improvement over time. Helps identify and fix common mistakes. Builds confidence when you hear your own growth. Example: pick a topic like my favorite movie and record for 2 minutes. Then replay and reflect. Did I pause a lot? Did I say words correctly? Did I sound confident? Do it once or twice a week and track your growth. 4. Learn phrases, not just words. What to do. Instead of memorizing individual vocabulary, learn full phrases and expressions used in real-life situations. Why it works. You'll sound more natural. Reduces hesitation because you already know what to say. Helps with grammar automatically. Example: instead of learning the word hungry, learn phrases like, I'm starving right now. Let's grab something to eat. I could eat a horse. These are used in real conversations and make speaking easier and smoother. 5. Use the 3-2-1 speaking technique. What to do. This is a simple timed exercise. Speak for 3 minutes on a topic. Then speak on the same topic for 2 minutes. Then, for 1 minute, trying to be more concise and fluent each time. Why it works. Trains you to organize your thoughts quickly. Builds speed and fluency. You learn to remove unnecessary hesitation. Example: topic: my hobbies 3 minutes. Talk slowly in detail. 2 minutes. Speak again with more flow. 1 minute. Give a fast summary with fewer pauses. Try this method once a day. It's great for speaking exams, interviews, or presentations. 6. Think in English, not in your native language what to do. Start practicing direct thinking in English. That means when you want to speak or describe something, don't first translate from your native language. Why it works. Reduces hesitation while speaking. Trains your brain to become naturally fluent. Helps you speak faster and more confidently. Example: when you see a flower, don't think. Native language. Flower. Say it in English. Instead, just think, it's a beautiful flower. I love the red color. Start small. Do this while cooking, walking, shopping, or brushing your teeth. 7. Join a speaking club or group, online or offline. What to do. Find or create a small group of learners to practice speaking regularly. Why it works. Builds your confidence in front of others. You learn from others' styles, accents, and mistakes. You practice real conversations. Example: join a free English speaking group on Zoom, Telegram, or Discord. Or make a WhatsApp group with 3 to 4 friends. Talk weekly on topics like what I did this week, my favorite food, a funny memory. Emma herself joined a club, and that was a turning point in her confidence. 8. Use shadowing method with YouTube videos or podcasts. What to do. Pick a short English video or podcast with subtitles and repeat what the speaker says immediately after them, copying their tone, speed, and pronunciation. Why it works. Improves speaking rhythm and accent. Builds listening and speaking at the same time. Trains your mouth to move like a native speaker. Example: watch a short video like, Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about. Pause, rewind, and repeat exactly how they say it. Do this 10 minutes a day. 9. Stop fearing mistakes. Embrace them. What to do. Don't avoid speaking because of fear. Instead, accept that mistakes are part of the process. Why it works. Reduces fear and anxiety. opens the door to real improvement, builds emotional resilience while learning. Example, instead of thinking, "What if I say something wrong?" Think, "Every mistake I make is one step closer to fluency." Emma made mistakes during presentations and still became a confident speaker. You can too. 10. Celebrate small wins. What to do? Every time you speak up, no matter how small, celebrate that moment. Why it works, keeps you motivated, builds self-worth and confidence, makes the learning journey more joyful. Example, spoke to a shopkeeper, celebrate. Ordered food in English, celebrate. Introduced yourself confidently, celebrate. You can even keep a speaking success journal and write down your daily wins. Teach what you learn. What to do. After you master a new phrase, grammar point, or pronunciation tip, explain it to someone else, a friend, family member, or even an imaginary audience. Why it works. Reinforces your own understanding, forces you to organize your thoughts in English, builds speaking fluency through repetition. Example, you learn the difference between used to and be used to. First, explain out loud. We say used to for past habits, like I used to play piano. We say be used to for things you're comfortable with, like I am used to waking up early. Then make sentences. I used to ride my bike every day. I am used to cold weather now. Teaching it cements your confidence. 12. Use storytelling techniques. What to do. Frame any practice speaking task as a short story. Set the scene, introduce characters, even if it's just you. Build up a small conflict, and then resolve it. Why it works. Makes your speech more engaging and memorable. Gives you a structure to follow so you don't get lost. Encourages creativity and natural flow. Example. Topic. A challenging day at work. Scene. It was Monday morning, 8 a.m., and the office was packed. Characters. There was me, my boss, Mr. Lee, and my coworker, Sarah. Conflict. Suddenly, the printer jammed right before our big presentation. Resolution. We worked together to fix it, and the presentation went smoothly. This keeps you focused and reduces hesitation. 13. Do vocal warm-ups. What to do. Spend 2 to 3 minutes before any speaking practice doing simple voice exercises, lip trills, blow air through closed lips to make them vibrate, brrr. Tongue twisters, e.g., she sells seashells by the seashore. Hum scales, hum, while sliding up and down your vocal range. Why it works. Loosens up your mouth and vocal cords, improves clarity and reduces mumbling, warms up breath control for longer speaking. Example. Before your next mirror practice or presentation, do a quick set. Lip trill for 30 seconds. Say, red lorry, yellow lorry, 5 times fast. Hum up a 5-note scale. You'll notice your voice feels freer and clearer. 14. Learn and use. Filler. Phrases strategically. What to do. Rather than pausing in silence when you think, use simple filler phrases. Let me think. That's an interesting question. What I'm trying to say is, why it works. Gives you a moment to organize your thoughts. Sounds more natural than dead air. Keeps the listener engaged. Example, in a group discussion, If someone asks your opinion, you might say, "That's a great point. Let me think. I believe that." This little buffer reduces the panic of instant response. 15. Leverage language exchange partnerships. What to do? Find a partner who wants to learn your native language and set up mutual practice sessions, half in English, half in your language. Why it works: creates a supportive, balanced environment, builds real conversational skills. You both benefit equally, so motivation stays high. Example: you connect with Carlos from Spain who's learning Spanish. You agree, first 15 minutes, speak only in English. You help him with corrections. Next 15 minutes, speak only in Spanish. He helps you with English. This reciprocity keeps both of you engaged and accountable. Immerse yourself in English-only media. What to do? Choose an English movie, TV show, podcast, or audiobook that interests you and consume it actively. Watch or listen with subtitles at first. Gradually turn subtitles off. Pause and repeat key lines out loud. Why it works: exposes you to natural rhythms, slang, and intonation. Reinforces vocabulary in real contexts. Trains your ear so speaking becomes more intuitive. Example: pick a 10-minute scene from a sitcom like Friends. Watch with subtitles. Rewatch the same scene without subtitles. Focus on mimicking Chandler's sarcastic tone. Pause after each line and repeat it. Notice how your pronunciation and confidence improve. 17. Describe your world out loud. What to do? When you're going about daily routines, cooking, cleaning, commuting, narrate what you see and do in English as if you're a TV narrator. Why it works: creates constant, low-pressure speaking opportunities. Helps you practice spontaneous speech. Builds descriptive vocabulary. Example: while making breakfast, say, "Now I'm cracking 2 eggs into the bowl. I can smell the butter sizzling in the pan. I'll cook these for 2 minutes on medium heat." This habit turns mundane tasks into valuable practice. 18. Focus on body language and eye contact. What to do? Practice speaking in front of a friend or camera, and pay attention to your posture, gestures, and eye contact. Why it works: nonverbal cues enhance your message and make you appear more confident. Aligning body language with speech reduces anxiety. You'll feel more present and engaged in real conversations. Example: record a 1-minute introduction of yourself. Notice if you stand tall with shoulders back, smile and maintain soft eye contact with the camera, use natural hand gestures rather than keeping arms crossed. Adjust and re-record until your body language matches the confident tone of your words. 19. Use speaking-focused apps and tools. What to do? Incorporate apps like Elsa Speak, Tandem, or Hello Talk that have interactive speaking exercises, pronunciation feedback, or live conversation partners. Why it works: provides instant feedback on pronunciation, connects you with native speakers or advanced learners, structures practice through gamified challenges. Example: on Elsa Speak, complete a daily pronunciation challenge where you record a sentence and get a score out of 100. Aim to improve by 5 points each day. focusing on tricky sounds like that or R. 20. Set smart speaking goals. What to do: create specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals for your speaking practice. Why it works: clarifies what success looks like, breaks the journey into manageable milestones, keeps you motivated with clear deadlines. Example: instead of saying, "I want to speak better," set a goal like, "By July 31st, I will give a 3-minute presentation in English to my study group without reading from notes." Track your progress each week. Week 1, write and rehearse the script. Week 2, practice in front of a mirror. Week 3, present to one friend. Week 4, deliver to the whole group. 21. Practice, question and answer. Drills. What to do: create a set of common questions, e.g., what's your favorite book? How was your weekend? Why did you choose your major? And practice answering each one aloud for 1 to 2 minutes. Then switch roles. Imagine you're the interviewer and ask the questions yourself. Why it works: trains you to think on your feet, prepares you for real-life speaking situations like interviews or discussions, helps you develop both question-forming and answer-structuring skills. Example: write down 3 questions on index cards. Pull one at random and answer it. Q. What's your favorite hobby? A. I love painting watercolor landscapes because it helps me relax and express creativity. Then flip the card over and ask yourself, why do I enjoy painting so much? Answer again, this time adding more detail. Besides relaxation, painting teaches me patience and focus. I often paint scenes from my travels, like the Texas hill country at sunset. 22. Use real-world role plays. What to do: simulate real scenarios, ordering at a cafe, asking for directions, making a small talk at a networking event. Either with a friend or by yourself, acting out both sides of the conversation in English. Why it works: builds situational vocabulary, decreases anxiety when you face these situations in real life, allows you to experiment with different phrases and tones. Example: scenario: ordering coffee. Barista: Hi, what can I get for you today? You: Hi, I'd like a medium latte with oat milk, please. And could you make it extra hot? Barista: Sure, anything else? You: No, that's all. Thank you. Role play this 5 to 10 times, changing details, drink size, milk type, add-ons to build flexibility. 23. Build a phrase bank notebook. What to do: keep a small notebook or digital note where you jot down 1 to 2 useful phrases or expressions each day that you encounter. Include their context and an example sentence. Why it works: creates a personalized resource tailored to your interests, encourages active learning and review, gives you ready-made chunks of language to pull into conversation. Example: entry, phrase, to hit the ground running. Example entry, phrase, to hit the ground running, meaning to start something and proceed at a fast pace with enthusiasm. Context, used when beginning a job or project. Sentence: I'm excited to join the marketing team next week and hit the ground running on our new campaign. Review your phrase bank weekly by reading entries out loud and using them in practice sentences. 24. Engage in speed chat challenges. What to do? Set a timer, e.g., 60 seconds, and try to speak continuously, no pauses, on any topic that comes to mind. If you get stuck, use a filler phrase, then keep going until the timer ends. Why it works. Forces you to push through hesitation. Trains mental agility to link ideas quickly. Mimics the pressure of real-time conversation. Example, topic, my dream vacation. 0 to 20 seconds. Describe the destination and why you chose it. 20 to 40 seconds. Talk about activities you'd do there. 40 to 60 seconds. Conclude with how the trip would make you feel. Repeat daily with different topics. Track your best fluent streak each time. 25. Reflect and reset with a speaking journal. What to do? Keep a daily or weekly journal, written or voice recorded, where you reflect on your speaking practice. What went well? What felt challenging? What will you try next time? Why it works. Helps you identify patterns and track progress, encourages self-awareness and goal setting, provides motivation by chronicling how far you've come. Example, entry, voice note. Today, I gave a 2-minute talk on my favorite book. I felt nervous at first, but remembered to use my filler phrases. I stumbled once, but recovered quickly. Next time, I'll practice my opening line more so I don't hesitate. 26. Engage in online discussion forums. What to do? Participate in English language forums or comment sections on topics you enjoy. Reddit threads, Quora answers, or blog comment sections. Write out your thoughts, then read them aloud to practice delivery. Why it works. Exposes you to varied opinions and writing styles. Reinforces your ability to organize ideas on the fly. Reading your own forum posts aloud simulates live speaking. Example. You're passionate about photography, so you join the r/photography subreddit. You write a comment explaining your favorite camera settings. I love using aperture priority mode at f2.8 for portraits because it creates a beautiful background blur. Then read your comment out loud, paying attention to pronunciation of words like aperture and portraits. 27. Volunteer to speak in community or campus events. What to do? Look for low-stakes speaking opportunities, introducing a guest speaker at a club meeting, reading a poem at an open mic, or giving a short book review at your local library. Why it works. Live audiences give you real feedback and adrenaline. Pushing beyond comfort zones accelerates growth. Each success reinforces your identity as a capable speaker. Example. Your campus poetry club needs someone to read at a weekly open mic. You choose a short poem you love, practice reading it expressively at home, then volunteer. The applause you receive, no matter how small, becomes fuel for your next speaking challenge. 28. Read aloud, with expression, what to do. Select a passage from a novel, news article, or speech transcript. Read it aloud with emotion. Vary your pitch, pace, and volume to match the content. Why it works. Trains you to use intonation for emphasis. Helps with pacing so you don't speak in a monotone. Builds comfort with longer stretches of English. Example. Take Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" excerpt. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up. Read it forcefully and passionately, then compare your recording to the original. Notice how emotion transforms your delivery. 29. Practice mindfulness before speaking. What to do? Spend 2 to 3 minutes doing a simple breathing or grounding exercise before any major speaking task. Focus on slow inhales and exhales, or on feeling your feet on the ground. Why it works: calms nerves and reduces physical tension, centers your attention on the present moment, clears mental clutter so you can choose your words more freely. Example: before a 5-minute presentation, sit quietly, close your eyes, and breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 2, then breathe out for 6 counts. Repeat 6 times. You'll notice your heart rate slow, making speaking feel steadier. 30. Commit to a daily dialogue routine. What to do? Choose one real person, a family member, classmate, or colleague, and commit to having a short English conversation with them every day, even if it's just 2 to 3 minutes. Why it works. Regular live interaction is the most effective way to build conversational fluidity, creates accountability and habit. You receive immediate, personalized feedback. Example: ask your roommate each morning, "Good morning, what are you most looking forward to today?" Example: ask your roommate each morning, "Good morning, what are you most looking forward to today?" Or check in with a classmate each afternoon. "Hey, did you understand today's lecture? What part did you like best?" Over time, these mini conversations become second nature. Putting it all together. You now have 30 proven techniques. Mix mirror practice, role plays, media immersion, mindfulness, and daily conversation to create a robust, personalized routine. Rotate through different tips to stay engaged. Track your key wins in a journal or phrase bank. Remember Emma's mantra: speak bravely, not perfectly.